The ATF says the crew used this gas station on 7 Mile and Braille as their home base. A team of local, state, and federal law enforcement taking the gang down, but it was the ATF that started the investigation.
Detroit's most dangerous gangs.
Home invasions, carjacking, armed robberies, and
destroying neighborhoods and communities.
Creates an environment where it's not safe for kids to go out and play, go out and go to school.
You use it to stay in touch with your friends, but some gangs are using it in cold blood.
Posting pictures on Instagram of people on the hit list, shoot to sight.
The defenders uncover a chilling reality.
Of 10 people posted, 7 of them got shot, 4 of them fatally.
Find out how the police are fighting back.
Detroit's gang scene has long been dominated by Bloods, but that doesn't mean Crips don't have a presence. Over the years, several Crip sets have established themselves in the city, bringing their own alliances, rivalries, and street politics into the mix. Many of these gangs trace their origins back to California and Minnesota, while others formed locally, blending Detroit's unique street culture with national Crip affiliations. From the Rollin 60s and Playboy Gangster Crips to the Shotgun Crips and Reaper Gang, these sets have carved out their own territories and engaged in some of the most violent gang wars in Detroit's history. Some have faced RICO indictments, while others continue to operate in the shadows, using music, social media, and street influence to maintain their presence. This deep dive into Detroit's most dangerous Crip gangs explores their origins, hoods, alliances, and ongoing conflicts that continue to shape the city's streets. Detroit's gang culture is largely dominated by Bloods and Blood-affiliated sets, but not everyone aligns with traditional gang structures like Bloods, Crips, Gangster Disciples, or Vice Lords. Many individuals and cliques choose to rep their neighborhoods or crews rather than claim a specific gang. This trend was even more prominent in the past, especially in the 2000s, when gang affiliations were more fluid. Back then, many groups were mixed, with some members identifying as Bloods or Crips, while others remained unaffiliated, focusing solely on their hood and personal connections. While Bloods dominate Detroit's gang landscape, several Crip sets have also established a presence in the city, with some even documented by the ATF. Many of these sets trace their origins back to California and Minnesota, bringing their respective gang cultures to Detroit. The Rollin 60s were founded in Detroit by members from California, while the Rollin 40s, Darkside and Parkside, also came straight from the West Coast. The Rollin 100's 113 original block Crips originated in California as well, further expanding the city's Crip presence. The Shotgun Crips primarily came from Minnesota, although some members have ties to Los Angeles. On the West 7 Mile area, the Playboy Gangster Crips have established themselves, with some presence on East Warren, where a 7 Mile clique reps 33rd. The 8 Trey Gangster Crips were founded by members from back West Side and now operate around 7 Mile and Telegraph and 7 Mile and Grand River, with some older members active on the East Side. The 5 Deuce Hoover Gangster Crips once held territory on the west side of 6 Mile, but they are now considered extinct. However, the 107 Hoover Criminals, originally from Los Angeles, have established themselves in the Grand River and Lasser area. The W7M ETGC Gangster Crips, Score Gang Crips, is a dominant gangster Crip set operating on Detroit's west side, primarily in the 7 Mile and Telegraph and 7 Mile and Grand River areas. Emerging in the mid to late 2010s, the gang adopted names and structures inspired by Los Angeles-based cliques, emphasizing their connection to West Coast gang culture while maintaining a distinct Detroit identity. One of their most influential factions, Back West Score Gang, directly draws its name from the Back West ETGC Gangster Crips clique, marking a strong West Coast affiliation. Similarly, 24,000 Block Crips, 24K Baby Locks, references Telegraph Road, a common naming convention among Bloods and Crips in LA, while asserting their dominance over that specific Detroit area. Other subsets, such as Far West, Hell Gang, Tiny Loc Crips, Tiny Laughers, and North Side Gutta Avenue Crips, continue the LA-inspired naming pattern, further establishing their territorial claim within the 48219 zip code. The gang often refers to its area as LA County or simply Los Angeles, reinforcing their territorial presence with the slogan, "Don't come to LA." Their influence is highly visible in their neighborhoods, where murals and graffiti tags declaring score Gang Crips and its subsets are widespread. These markings, often left untouched by both rival gangs and city authorities, serve as a bold statement of power and control. Over time, W7M ETGC Gangster Crips has been linked to rising crime rates in the 48219 area, with many of its conflicts stemming from territorial disputes and violent altercations with rival gangs. Despite law enforcement pressure and ongoing feuds, Score Gang Crips remain one of the most formidable Crip sets in Detroit, solidifying their influence on the city's west side.
At one point, they were one of the most violent gangs on the streets of Detroit.
The Playboy Gangster Crips didn't just settle scores, they targeted children and bragged about all of it online.
Here's the rest of the story. Her name was Anaya Montgomery. Shot and Easter morning on Detroit's west side. A little girl hit by gunfire from adults who swore allegiance to their street gang. Soon after, a retaliation shooting, this time 6-month-old Miracle Murray was hit, and she was a 6-month-old by so-called gangbangers. When the smoke cleared and the funerals were held, the feds decided to take a long look at what was going on. The ATF identified a long list of members of a gang calling themselves the Playboy Gangster Crips, posting and boasting on Facebook, guns, drugs, and threats, setting up shop and working the gang like a business here at 7 Mile and Braille on the city's west side.
They have goals, and the goals are to enrich themselves and make money. And they make money through violence and intimidation and drug dealing and carjacking.
The feds used racketeering charges first designed to go after mafia members, to indict member after member of the Playboy Gangster Crips. They got convictions for members like Winston Hill, who posted photos of his gang activity on Facebook. They tracked his moves, even capturing him trying to intimidate a witness in jail. Hill and 16 other members have been convicted. They've now been sentenced to massive prison time, decades behind bars. The Playboy Gangster Crips are now out of business. Those agents found the Playboy Gangster Crips operating openly in abandoned houses and conducting their business on Facebook. The case took time as the feds aimed for longer sentences.
The 7 Mile Playboy Gangster Crips, also known as the Trey Trays or 33rd Gangsters, are an established gangster Crip set that continues to remain active in Detroit. Repping under the 6, they primarily operate around 7 Mile and Losser, Gangsta City, and 7 Mile and Evergreen, Sav Gang. Their Sav Gang moniker honors Tony Bands, aka Savage, a gangster disciple who was widely respected in the set for his street reputation. Despite a major RICO indictment by the ATF, which significantly reduced their numbers due to their violent war with the 7 Mile Rolling 60s Crips, the 7 Mile Playboy Gangster Crips remain active in their territory. The 7 Mile Rolling 60s Crips are one of Detroit's older neighborhood Crip sets, primarily based around 7 Mile and Hubble and 7 Mile and Myers. While they remain active, their numbers have significantly declined over the years. At one point, they were much deeper, but heavy losses, particularly due to their prolonged war with Playboy Gangster Crips, led to a RICO case by the ATF, further weakening their presence. Notably, many gangster disciples are affiliated with the Rolling 60s, and they are also connected to the 7654 Alliance alongside BHB. The 3G Sosa World set is affiliated with the Rolling 20s Crips, primarily operating around 12th Street. Despite their Crip affiliation, they also claim force. Unlike many other Detroit gangs, 3G Sosa World doesn't have a long list of rivals and generally avoids widespread conflicts. The 6 Mile Green Guys are affiliated with the Shotgun Crips and primarily operate around 6 Mile and Gunston. They rep the 132nd clique of Shotgun Crips, waving green to represent Gardena, California. Some members also claim the 139th clique. The 6 Mile Green Guys are closely linked with West 6 Mile Shotgun Crips, as well as members in St. Paul, Minnesota, and Gardena, California. They may also have a presence on Bradford. The Reaper Gang is a young Crip set that claims affiliation with both the Rolling 60s neighborhood Crips and Shotgun Crips, an unusual combination since gangster Crips and neighborhood Crips traditionally do not get along. Most members are self-acclaimed, meaning they were not officially put on by real Rolling 60s. The set is primarily based in West Warren, referring to the area as Exit 8 or Loketown, with some members also spread across Puritan, 7 Mile, Zone 6, and Murray Hill on the west side. They have ongoing beef with various 5 affiliated gangs, yet they maintain a good relationship with a 5-9 Piru blood set under the 5. The Reaper Gang was founded after a self-acclaimed shotgun Crip from Minnesota, known as EJ aka Reaper Lope, was shot and deleted in Minnesota while sitting in a car. His funeral was held in Detroit, and some members named the set after his birthday, 12/29. While they are active, they are often viewed as more of an internet-based gang and are not widely taken seriously in the streets. While blood-affiliated sets still hold dominance in Detroit, Crip gangs have managed to maintain a significant presence despite law enforcement crackdowns and internal conflicts. Sets like the 7 Mile Rolling 60s, Playboy Gangster Crips, and Shotgun Crips have had their numbers affected by RICO cases and gang wars, but they continue to operate in their respective territories. As the city's gang culture evolves, Detroit's Crip landscape continues to shift. Some sets have faded, while others have strengthened their alliances, expanded their reach, or even made a mark in the rap industry. However, with ongoing feuds, police pressure, and social media amplifying street conflicts, the future of Detroit's Crip movement remains uncertain. Will these gangs rise, adapt, or fall under mounting pressure? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear: the presence of Crips in Detroit is far from over.